A quick heating storm system is currently moving through the mid-Atlantic states this morning, with some moderate to maybe heavy snow in this area. For most of Virginia, Washington, D.C., although downtown D.C. is 34, might be melting there when it hits the ground, but um, overall, pretty impactful event this morning, with some freezing rain out to the west here, maybe in the higher terrain here. Icing further south into Georgia. We have temps in the 40s generally, with some precip moving through, but the heavy rain chances have significantly decreased for Georgia for today and the weekend. Although it's still going to be quite nasty, but the yeah. So you see the cold temperatures up north here, single digits. It's hard to see this, I know, but single digits up here for a good portion of the Northeast. I'm gonna fix this real quick, make this a little bit easier to see. I know that's bright, but single digits up here. The negative single digits up here in the Northeast corridor, right up way up into Canada. So the coldest air is moving further south, not south, further to the east than it was yesterday, the core of it anyway. All right, so, and out west here, a lot warmer than it was yesterday, 20s and 30s, but a good portion of the nation is below freezing this morning. Even down into Texas here, it's near freezing. In the mountains of California, even along the coastline of California, it's in the 50s this morning. So, parts of Colorado, uh, near the single digits, but definitely warmer here out west in the northern high plains this morning. My cat's jumping up here. As far as the forecast for Georgia, my cat just walked in front of the camera. Precip amounts have decreased. We talked about that in a minute ago. Rain cloud cover limit afternoon temperatures, and rain will continue through the weekend. They help mitigate the drought that's ongoing here. As far as precip chances and temps for today, generally highs in the 40s and 50s. The highest precip chances are bisecting the state really. The northern tier, not nearly as high. Precip chances towards the south, bisecting central Georgia. Heavier rain to the southeast. And for tonight, still temperature is going to be pretty steady because of the cloud cover. Precip chances roughly 80% here, central Georgia southward, decreasing as you go to the north. And tomorrow, highest precip chances in central to southeast Georgia, generally with temperatures in the 40s and 50s again. So, quite a nasty weekend in store here. So I live near Warner Robins Air Force Base. This is a forecast for this area. Generally, you see the precip chances down here as of 00Z today through the 6th. Pretty high precip chances with amounts here, approaching 1/4 of an inch. And through the 6th, going to be chances of rain increase again. Right. So you see the temperatures here and then warming up a little bit, but overall pretty 50s and 60s generally for the whole week. So not overly cold, but not too warm either. So, and that's played out well by the Climate Prediction Center showing, near or below average temperatures for this area for the foreseeable future. As far as current hazards go, quite a lot going on this morning. Winter weather advisory into the mid-Atlantic. We talked about that today a minute ago. Up here in the plains, Midwest area, winter weather advisory, winter storm watch, winter storm warning here in the mountains, winter weather advisories, all kind of different wind and snow related advisories. Freeze warning down here in the desert southwest, and it looks like a high wind warning here for the wind gap again down here, and some flood warnings into Louisiana this morning. So as far as snowfall goes for the nation, the most snowfall expected through Saturday in the Intermountain West, with smaller, lesser amounts here in North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and of course the ongoing event here into West Virginia. Looks like the highest amounts are expected in the mountains here, with 2 to 3 inches in other areas. You hover over, you can see where the most amounts are expected through Saturday at 06Z. And that system moves to the east there. Really getting a lot of snow here. The 24-hour accumulations are pretty high here. So, the northwest flow is going to continue. And you have a system diving south here Sunday, bringing some heavier precip chances here. You hover over this, 4 to 6 inches, right? Expected. It looks like that moves to the southeast. And at one point, we were looking at maybe more an event here out in the southeast, possibly going into Monday, but not looking less likely at this point. It would have to have both the northern and southern stream energy phase, and I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll go over that as part of the model guidance review. And this is a total, let me refresh this. Total amounts expected through Monday, right? 66 hours. Highest amounts in the mountains of snow here into Montana, West Virginia mountains, Virginia. On the lee side, windward side, leeward side of the Great Lakes, right? Parts of Iowa, etc. So, as far as ice goes, starting today, Wisconsin potentially has some icing, South Dakota into the Appalachian Mountains. And it's looking like that may continue here. I'm not sure. That's just staying there. I hope it doesn't happen because that could be potentially impacting right there. That's for that. Maybe potential icing with the other system moving through, but nothing too impactful here. As far as total precip through Monday, see the highest precip amounts, liquid precip are expected here. It's moved quite a bit further south than it was yesterday. The total higher amounts with the frontal boundary draping further south than was expected, and along the west coast here, northwest coast of the United States. So this is total rainfall plus liquid equivalent, right? So you melted totals. So what's driving our sensible weather? Well, this is a 500 millibar global. Well, only goes so far out here on the map, but this is a pretty interesting look at why we have this cold air. Get my pen up and going here. persisting here in the northeast, and the pattern out west here, and why persistent onshore heavy rain in the northwest here. So you have a 500 millibar anomaly chart, right? So, and here's the anomalies above or below normal as far as pressure goes. And the oranges indicate deeper anomalies in the positive direction, meaning higher heights than normal expected. And the darker greens, purples, darker greens especially, you see -45 anomalies. That is brutally cold air, okay, aloft. That usually translates to colder air and unsettled weather, all right? And this usually translates to more warmer air, okay, in general, and high pressure aloft, okay? So, you know, when you have a high pressure aloft here, you switch it over to this. I can't show the 925, the higher 925 with the EPS. This is like a ensemble, right? Like 51 members. So we switch to the European. This is a 500 millibar anomaly, height anomaly based on the European model, and not all its members, like a general average, right? So if you have higher pressure at 500 millibars, you can look at the heights at 925, and they're not necessarily, you can't have a 500 millibar or higher level high pressure over top lower, um, like you can have 500 millibar heights there at the surface that are equal to like the higher heights right above it at 500 millibars or higher up. So it's the surface high is usually just placed um, to the east or west of the 500 millibar height. So you go to here. Although this is, interestingly enough, it's pretty interesting. Let's look at the heights here again. There's your near the surface. There's your 500. Interestingly enough, it's pretty. I'm really surprised like how close they are together. I don't know. There's your anomaly. I know I'm getting to the weeds here, guys. And you have your 500 millibar heights. Interesting. Usually you don't see, it tells me that this high pressure is pretty well entrenched out here. So anyway, enough about that. What I was getting at was the anomaly, right? So when we have anomalies like this, it usually indicates, you know, the colder, warmer air aloft, right? So we move this through time. You can see out to the east here. This really, you have like a blocking to the east here, right? Although towards the extended December 19th, this wants to move this cold air further to the east and bring a cold push down here into central U.S. I'm not certain this is really going to happen, given current trends, but this might just be a short-term change. Um, But you see the more current evolution here. This consistent high pressure out west here with consistent lower pressure to the east, which is mostly a northwest flow here. You can see where offshore, if we can get enough blocking, you potentially have a nor'easter type setup, but we'll just have to see how that plays out. Now, let's go to a more short-term evolution here real quickly with the NAM. This is a globe. I'm going to change this to, excuse me for a minute. All right. Switching it up to the current radar, the simulated radar with HRRR is really showing this pretty well here. Quick heating system, and by 1 p.m., most of the snow will be offshore here, right? You have some snow showers up here in Minneapolis. Kind of a northwest flow, which isn't really supportive of a lot of heavy snow here out west, but on the west coast it's going to be pretty unsettled, and along the southeast, just unsettled weather in the southeast. There's maybe some heavy rain showers moving through further into Florida. If we switch this up to the an AM3K a little further out here, speed this up a little bit, right? Maybe some another low pressure developing here in the Midwest, so we could have an impactful event moving through here, right? Yeah, so we could have more rain down here in the south, but you see how it's pushed further south here, and this system could potentially bring more snow up here, right? And this is through Sunday. You see the southern stream energy is kind of displaced from where this is, right? So if we extend this out a little bit here in the European model, it interestingly enough, it's not very bullish on this after that. Let's see what the GFS says, even though I hesitate to do that, but it's a little more bullish on snow moving through, and it wants to maybe get something here on Monday, right along the coast. Let's move this to the 6Z. See, well, it's still running. So anyway, so let's move to mid to short term for temperatures for the nation real quick. Okay. So you see where the coldest temperatures are right now. Well, not right now. Single digits up here into the northeast. You see where the cold air is bottled up, right? This is refreshing, which, yuck. All right. This website's free, so I can't complain. Generally 20s, stay in the 20s today. You see the colder air bottled up north, warming up a little bit in the middle part of the country. Cold air lurking to the north here, and we saw that on the 500 millibar chart, right? If we switch it to the longer range, that's in it. Coldest temps you see are relegated to the eastern U.S., but you can see where that the cold air just keeps pushing down, potentially in the negative teens for and maybe warming up some based on that latest model guidance. But if anything, the model's been trending colder. As far as the size of rainfall for today and tomorrow, there's no risk on the map here, day 1 and 2. For Sunday, got a marginal risk here into northern Florida, parts of Jacksonville, Brunswick, Georgia. So that's a big change from yesterday. All right. Day 4, you have the heavy rain expected along the northwest coast here, with a slight risk of excessive rainfall leading to flooding here, with a slight risk in the green. And again, for day 5, that would be Monday. Those 2 days are Monday and Tuesday. Moving to severe weather. No severe weather expected today, although thunderstorms are possible here in the southeast. That pushes further to the south. And no severe weather expected. And honestly, I don't think there'll be any severe weather for the foreseeable future. All right. At least in the short to medium term. So, what is the temperature outlook climate wise? You see that northwest flow here in the northeast and the upper Midwest and the northern high plains and into the southeast, with that high pressure firmly in place here out west. All right. Move day 8 through 14. Maybe the warm air pushes a little further east, but you see the flow is more, it's not as pronounced, but the high pressure does shift a little further to the east here. So this is a week 3 to 4 outlook. This will be updated later today, with the warmest temperatures near normal expected along and south of this line here, and colder than normal expected along and north here of that line. Precip chances updated yesterday. Yeah, the most rainfall is expected up here in the northwest into the Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and maybe the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes. Pattern remains pretty firmly in place here, although Florida may end up getting into it here, which would be nice because they've been really dry down here. And week 3 to 4, this will be updated later today, but you can see where the different probabilities are of above normal precip versus below normal, and then the rest equal chances. As far as day 8 to 14 U.S. hazards, we talked about this yesterday, but in Alaska, much below normal temperatures may be expected the 12th through the 15th in parts of Alaska, and high winds as well, with flooding possible along the northwest coast. Slight risk of heavy precip the 12th here, December. Snow probabilities, risk of heavy snow in the purple areas here in the different dates, the 12th out west here, and the 12th through the 14th along the Great Lakes. High wind risk you see in the brown areas and into parts of Alaska here as well. Moderate slight risk here. Risk of hazardous temperatures again into Alaska. Slight risk here to moderate risk down to the south. That's all I got for today, guys. Hope you all have a great day. And, we need the rain down here, so, take it for what it is. It's going to dry out some, so hopefully this will help me to get the drought. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, and God bless.